Hey everyone, welcome to today's Power Move Monday. I am house sitting for my parents who are away on vacation, and this is my childhood home where I grew up, so I thought it would be nice to do a power move here. It's kind of like being at a museum, but maybe that's a video for another day. Today's power move is for you fellas out there. It's really important for us, meaning us ladies in the corporate world, in the higher ed space, or any industry, to have you as allies. The last thing we need is you not being on our side in a conference room, at a meeting, interrupting us when we're speaking, stealing our ideas, or even speaking over us. So what better way to give you some examples than pop culture? In Hidden Figures, Kevin Costner's character was a huge ally for Taraji P. Henson's character. He eventually got rid of colored bathrooms, got rid of colored coffee mugs and colored coffee pots. And the most famous line from that scene is, "We all pee the same color." So to him, it didn't matter what color you were, what gender you were. He just wanted to get those astronauts into space and back home safely. And how can we not talk about male allies without mentioning another favorite, Game of Thrones? We all know at the end of last season who rules the world. Every woman in that show was gangsta, showed who was boss and who was in charge. But I will say they had some male allies helping them along the way. Granted, it had an evil streak to a lot of the stuff that was going on, but you get my point. So I shared a draft of this video with one of my male allies, and he introduced me to someone named Claire Smith. I don't know a lot about sports, and I did not know who Claire Smith was until today after I shared this video with him. And Claire Smith is an African-American sports writer who was the first woman to win the Spink Award. The Spink Award recognizes meritorious contributions to baseball. What better industry than sports to make my point today? In an interview with the Hall of Fame about receiving the Spink Award, Claire Smith said, and I quote, "I asked my fellow female writers to come up front and stand next to me because that's what we do. I thanked them, and we in turn thanked the gentlemen in the room because they as a group and so many individually have always stood at our side as well. They were allies." In another interview, Ms. Smith talked about how she was banned from the locker room during the 1984 San Diego Padres win during the World Series. It was men in the industry, men in baseball, who helped her get her interviews and eventually helped her get into the locker room to be able to compete successfully with other male sports writers. They were her allies. So you see, fellas, we do need you. We need you guys, and we need you today, right now, to make sure that we are getting our fair share. I'm not saying that we're damsels in distress that need to be saved. That's the last thing I'm saying. But what I'm saying is we don't need you being part of the problem either. Again, studies show that men tend to interrupt women during meetings, or they tend to repeat the same thing a woman said 5 minutes prior and claim it as their own. Maybe it is unconscious, perhaps, but now I'm making you conscious of it, and now you have to start thinking before you speak, thinking before you interrupt, instead of being a detriment to our progress. So fellas, have you been an ally lately? Have you looked out for a fellow female colleague in the workplace? Share that with us. Let us know. Role model some ways that you think you can be an ally to women in your industry. I can't wait to hear from you. So that's the power move for today. Hashtag Power Move Monday. Hashtag solutions, not resolutions. You got this.